What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, Thursday, comic day. How are you doing, everybody? Welcome to my show. Just checking my levels here. Of course, some sort of crazy audio weirdo thing happens right before everything goes live. So apologies about that. I don't know what happened. I was actually doing some research on a little bit of information that was going on in the chat. Speaking of internet censorship and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know if I should talk about it because then I'm going to get censored. But yeah, I was just doing some research and then all of a sudden everything went audio silent. So I was like, are they watching me? But I think it was just my own boomerism that happened. But you know, that's okay. We muddle our way through and we make these things happen. So today is Thursday. I didn't get to stream yesterday, my normal day for streaming on My Wednesday Comics, where I go to the store, new comic book day on Wednesday. I did get to go to one store yesterday, Invisible Jet. Chris is the owner there. Had a great time there. Good conversation with her. But I had so many things going on in the middle of the afternoon that I knew for a fact I wouldn't be able to stream. So that was okay because I didn't get all the books that I wanted at that store. And I was able to go to another store today, Comics Experience. And some of you guys were talking there in the chat, comics with an X, just one X. Okay. It's not that kind of store, just one X. And was able to stop by there today. Super rainy day today. Lots of rain going on. Don't know what that is, why buckets of water are dumping from the sky, but it is one of those weird weather days and mixed with comics. It's kind of crazy. But you know, I think I've mentioned this before, like comics plus rain. That always gets me a little anxious, but you know, it's okay. We got the bags. We're fine. Everything was dry. We're all good. So we're here streaming today and did pick up a few good books this week and then also got to rifle through one of the dollar boxes, or actually more than $1 box today, and found some gems in there, which was nice. And then also picked up a book from a used bookstore, a graphic novel, which will be really cool to look at with you guys today because it's a very, very early work of one of the artists who I mention a lot on this stream, Daniel Warren Johnson. So it's one of his earlier works that I found in trade paperback format that I'm super excited to look at it. And it's cool. It's cool because you can see just kind of the early first steps of where he started. And he's so far different now. But you can kind of still see the same influences. So it's neat. It'll be awesome to look through. And maybe some of you guys have read this particular book before, but I've never gotten a chance to read it. So I'm super excited that I found it at this bookstore. So yeah, welcome. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. Please hit that like and subscribe before we get started. It's we were trying to get to 666 subscribers on Halloween, not for any other reason than just to keep it creepy and spooky. But ever since I made that a goal, I lost a subscriber. So now I'm at 664. I was at the cusp at 665. So maybe I lost somebody who is superstitious if we hit that. But anyway, that kind of cracked me up because I was like, okay, it's going to happen probably today. Not today, but like yesterday, actually. And then I was like, oh, I lost the subscriber. Okay, funny how that works. But yeah, please hit that like and subscribe. And I'm glad all you guys are available for a Thursday. There is no schedule on YouTube. It all happens all the time, 24/7. Especially for this guy, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969.
How do you say monkey in French?
First in chat. And also Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 will be the soon recipient of the commission sketch that I did in the book that he mailed me. And thank you so much, Mr. Monkey Boy, for sending that. It was a great blast from the past. And just wanted to make sure I had your address correct. That was all the chatter a little bit at the beginning of this stream, but just wanted to make sure I have your address correct. That will be out in the mail. If not, later today after this stream, I will definitely send it first thing in the morning. So very excited to get that to you on your way. Yeah. Cranberry Langers is here. What's up, Cranberry? I don't know. Maybe he's not here now.
This is a cranberry full of power.
Always popping in and out, but amazing to see you here, Cranberry, as always. Channel member, Cranberry Langers. And also, Cranberry Langers, one thing I'll mention to you guys right now, and I don't know if Emo Trash is in the chat, but last month, we're already mid-November now, and what I've been doing the last couple of months is I started a Discord channel. This topic again, Mo Biggs. I started a Discord channel, and one of the things that I do on the Discord channel is my monthly YouTube challenge questions. I try and do once a week. Actually behind on November, but I try and do once a week, and then whoever answers the questions, the most questions, gets a point. Whoever answers the question right gets a point. Whoever gets the most points, they win for that month, and then I'll send them a little something, a little gift or a little prize. So that went great when I first started it. Cranberry Langers won the first month we did, and then the second month, the month of October, there was a tie. Now, me being the smart one, didn't realize that if I do 4 questions once a week, inevitably a tie will happen. And for those of you who have been around my channel long enough, you know that ties are just part of a thing. The chat loves the ties. And so there is a tie in October. So I was like, oh, dang, do I got to do like a tiebreaker question? And I just overthought it too much. And anyway, it's too long. We're already mid-November. So I am going to declare today, right now, that there's 2 winners in October. Cranberry Langers and Emo Trash are the winners of the tie winners of the October challenge. So Cranberry, I already have your address. Emo, if you are here, send me your address and I'll send you guys a little something for joining in on that. So if you guys want to be in on this, come join us on Discord. Somebody drop the link in the chat and I will pin that to the top. But come join us in Discord. We have all sorts of fun conversation. We continue the comic book conversation. Actually, the conversation went to the Aurora Borealis just recently because apparently everybody in the country has seen it except me. And people have told me that you can see it where I am in Northern California, but I haven't seen anything. I don't know if it's because I'm in a foggier part of the city or if it's just I'm not looking out at the right times, but apparently there's some crazy northern lights going on and a lot of people have been seeing it. More people that I know that are like in the middle of the country, Midwest, have been seeing it clearer. But I've been seeing some amazing pictures, and some of the channel members, the Discord members, have been posting that in Discord. So pretty awesome. It's just all sorts of fun stuff. I think it's like even beyond the comics talk, there's a lot of like, just like, hey, here's the part of my world. This, like, check it out. Mark's Music Obsession, who oftentimes channel member Mark's Music Obsession, who is here in the chat a lot, and has just been a big supporter of mine. He's always posting these incredible videos of the beach where he lives. He's in Florida. I know it's Central Florida, Northern Florida. But he gets these amazing views of like the beach. And I love looking at it. It's like so peaceful for me to watch those videos when I'm in the middle of like a rainstorm. So yeah, I love all that stuff. And it's just, you know, where else do you get to do that? It's pretty cool. So I really love that aspect of just connecting with you all, and Discord allows that even more. Mo Biggs in the chat. What's up, Mo Biggs? Newly minted channel member, Mo Biggs.
Better known as Mo, Big wasn't always the confident voice we hear today.
We don't have to worry about like gifting out memberships, Mo, because you've got it. You finally got it last stream. And that's great. Actually, I think I have 5 more gift memberships to give. Let me just drop those out. Why hoard those? Where is that? Nope, that's not it. Membership gifting. Oh, here he goes. I have 5 more memberships left. So I'm going to send them. Let's see what happens. Oh, see? I just gifted them. So we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes it tells me who gets them. Sometimes it doesn't. We'll see. If you get one, if you get a notification that you get one, let me know. But yeah, hopefully hopefully it lands on somebody I know. Michael Bancroft in the house.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
So Michael Bancroft was saying, I was saying there's 2. I missed Beats. Beats came in here. I'll say hello to Beats in a second. But I said there's 2 Australians in the 2 Aussies in the chat. Michael Bancroft and Jeffrey Beats. And then Bancroft's talking about this Australian internet censorship. So this is what I was searching when my audio went crazy. Let me see if this will share correctly. Yeah, this is what I was searching. So this is the Australian government site .au, infrastructure.gov.au, and starting December 10th. Is this what's going to happen? Is this what you're talking about, Bancroft? Age-restricted social media platforms must take reasonable steps to prevent Australians under 16 from having accounts. So there's going to be all these kind of... sorry, I thought I just dripped something on myself. All these kind of stopgaps for kids under 16. But I'm assuming, at least based on your comment, that it's more than just this. Who knows? Kind of crazy. Like, you want kids to be protected for sure, but there's also such thing as overreach. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? But this was just my cursory search right now, but maybe there's more. Maybe there's more. So let us know, Bancroft. If you can, look at the camera. Give us 1 finger or 2 fingers. 2 fingers if you're not okay. 1 finger. 2 fingers if you're not okay. 1 finger if you're okay. Blink once, blink twice. Hopefully you're okay. Oh yeah, this was it. We're still here for now. Who knows in a couple of weeks. Cranberry Langers. Did I already say hello to Cranberry Langers?
This is a cranberry full of power.
Great seeing you, Cranberry Langers. You are in and out based on your work. I think your work is like that, right? It like you start, stop. But you always show up, and I appreciate that. Channel member Cranberry Langers. Okay. Here we go. Here's the beats. Drop the beats. Oh, that would have been
bogan, 50% bogan, 100% bogan.
That would have been an awesome sound clip. Drop the beats. Ooh, maybe we'll have to redo that one. Jeffrey Beats. How are you doing? How is your daughter's finger? Is it bandaged up or splinted up? That was one thing you had mentioned one of the streams, that your poor daughter hurt her finger. So hopefully she's okay. I know that stuff is expensive. I was just looking at insurance costs recently myself, and I was like, dang. And it as you get older, it's just not fair. It really isn't fair. I know more things can break, but man, it can be really expensive. Just got a flood watch warning. No rain thus far and a few white fluffy clouds. Yeah, there was a lot of rain, so who knows? I don't know how close you are to the coast. I know you're in SoCal, Mo Biggs. I don't know how close you are to the water, though. But I'm relatively close to the Pacific Ocean. So we always get it hit hard when the not the Gulf Stream, but whatever, the barometric pressure shifts. We usually get it hit pretty hard. We're usually like the first in line to get nailed by the precipitation change. Great cover image of Transformers. Yeah, that's a cool one. That's another book we'll be looking at today. It's yeah, I haven't looked at the second issue. The first issue that Dan Mora and Robert Kirkman took over on the Transformers line. I thought that was it. I thought I'd be done with Transformers, but I was really impressed with just the look of it and the story that they're building in it. So I picked up the second issue today. So that'll be one of the ones we look at today. What can I say? Vote commies, get commie policies. Yeah, that sounds pretty extreme. Brunson's here. What's up, Brunson? Finally early. Made it to the beginning. Brunson, you're going to realize, you're like, all right, I made it here for the comics. Let's go. We still got another half hour to go, Brunson, before we get to comics. So buckle in, my friend. But awesome seeing you here. Brunson's another person that I met recently over YouTube, and he's joined my Discord and has contributed a lot of awesome stuff there. And Brunson is now being repped by an original comic art rep, which is awesome. I saw that on one of his social media posts. So really cool. Congratulations on that, Brunson. Hope that goes well for you. Bangers lives in one of the best parts of Australia. And he's about to get censored. That's not a good sign. Who knows what will happen without beloved icons Gladys and Andrew holding down the fort? Gladys and Andrew. Who are Gladys and Andrew? What? Sumo Thori, what's up? Sumo Thori in the house. Aussie Sumo Thori, you are a mod and I don't have a sound for you? For shame. That one's definitely going in my notes. I've been a little bit behind. Well, not behind. I think I caught up quite good with all the sound effects stuff, but Sumo Thori, you have been wrenched, so you definitely need a sound effect. We'll get on that for you. Aussie internet censorship in addition to the Bancroft gate. Mo Biggs will never get a membership at this point. I believe Sumo Thori actually gifted the membership to Mo Biggs as best as he could. So you would know. Aussie internet censorship is great. Jeffrey Beats says. Do I detect a wee bit of sarcasm in there? Did Rocky buy anything that I bought? Hush 2, yes, that is one of them. Rocky's purchases are what separate the shows from the super shows. It's not. I make good choices. I do. I always shop in a suit in my comic shop. They should add 2 more X's. They'd attract a whole new crowd. Come on. I think Comics Experience, I want to say it's like a 35-year-old shop. So it probably got its start in the late 80s, early 90s. That was like when you put an X on stuff, that was like the cool thing to do, right? I mean, not in the XXX way, but as the cool name. It's like how in the 2000s it was like adding a Z to the end of everything. For us, it was the X. So Comics Experience. Then take down the commie and says that is not the way. Friday here, Bangers IR on the other side of the world. That's right. I want to buy a DSLR camera so I can look as good as Rocky when I stream. Gosh. You know what? That's genetics, man. It has nothing to do with the camera. That's all I got to say. It ain't ever going to look as good as this, so why try, Bancroft? No, I just had an old DSLR camera that I wasn't using anymore since phones have gotten so convenient and so good. So, I used to try and take, not professional photographs, but nicer looking photographs with a DSLR camera. And then it was just sitting in my closet for the long time. So then when I started streaming, I was like, can I reuse this? Because I don't like the way that webcams look. They're usually kind of, there's some really good ones now, but this was free. I still had it. So I had to use a couple of extra supplemental tech pieces to get it to work, but it works. And so far, so good. I would like to there's some really nice cameras. If you watch YouTubers, like content creators, there's some really nice Sony cameras that people have, and the image in those are amazing. So one day we will. When this channel gets huge, when we get 666 subscribers, maybe we'll invest in one of those cameras, but that's way down the road. So until then, you guys are going to just get a bunch of old iPhone cameras and duct tape and like MacGyver setup. That's what I got. Sure, it's the camera. There you go. Only a few hours left in the work week for Jeffrey Beats. Wait, really? Are you guys in Friday already? Huh. Wow, that's cool. I credit his lime jello tuna salad diet. There's no tuna in that. No tuna. I think he rivals my forehead height. I do. It's a 5 head. But it's okay. I remember when I was a kid. I mean, this just runs in the family. And when I was a kid, I remember sitting on the steps. I think I would have been like 5. And I was really sad. And my mom was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Mom, I'm going bald." And it was just because there was so much forehead. And I noticed it as a kid. I don't know. It was kind of sad. But it's cool. I just say there's a lot of brains behind that forehead. The forehead is protecting a lot of gray matter in there. You get rain, we get snow. Ooh, yeah. I'll take the rain. Jorge Corona's the next DWJ. You're a big fan of Corona, huh, Bancroft? Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's fast. He works on a lot of projects, a lot of diverse projects, actually. You know, there's like Ain't No Grave. There was Transformers. Middle West. He works a lot with Scotty Young, and he can kind of do the Scotty Young cartoony thing, and he can kind of do the Daniel Warren Johnson actiony thing. Yeah, he's super awesome. So I'd love his artwork a lot. I do like DWJ better than Jorge Corona, but you know, they kind of live in a very similar universe too with their art style. So I like it. Mo Biggs lost a subscriber. This Discord obsession is driving away. Maybe I lost you, Mo Biggs. I'm not going to name any names, but who hasn't been around lately that would be most likely to derail your 666 sub goal by any means necessary? It might be. And she won too, so she better get in here so that she can get her prize. You found me out, not subscribbled. Mo challenges you not to mention Discord for a week. Can't do it. His next show is on a Wednesday, so he will fail that challenge for sure. It's like me and poker or Arcane or Star Trek. Oh, nice. Yeah. I mean, you know, you got to promote it. You got to it's just one of those things. Like, haven't you heard, I don't know if it's a marketing thing or an advertising thing. You got to like say it in 3 different ways or repeat it 3 different times. And so, you know, that's kind of what we're doing here. We got to. Lindsay Rose is here. I'm not very late. You are not, Lindsay Rose.
Roses are red. Violets are blue.
Glad you're here. Thai winners get Thai food. Oh, that's a good idea. That would be a horrible thing to deliver, but that's a great idea. because of what do they call them? Is it a homonym where the sound of the word is the same but it's spelled differently? Is that a homonym? Gosh. Homonym. Each of 2 or what have the same spelling but different meaning. Booyah. Homonym. Yes, I was right. www Discord sucks. I've never checked out that site, obviously. The sun just had a major storm, so hence the northern lights. Oh, science. They told me we wouldn't be able to see it, but I got to read this morning about how they were wrong. You got to go to the country. Yes, that's probably true. And then we're just like steeped in fog. Well, now rain, but fog most of the time. So that doesn't help. That's like July 4th here. Every year people are like, okay, we're going to watch the fireworks and I'm going to be at so-and-so's roof or we're going to go to this park and blah, blah, blah. And I kid you not, 95% of the time it'll be foggy on July 4th in the city. And even if the day is beautiful, the fog will somehow roll in by the time it's fireworks time. and then the fireworks, get launched from the ferry building and explode in the air, but it's just like behind all the fog. So you just kind of see lights light up a little bit. You don't see the actual fireworks. It's really funny. Bancroft has secured hundreds of gift. Get me an umbrella, Alan Lau says.
Hey kid,
What?
I'm a computer.
The funny thing is it's like it doesn't rain enough in the city that a lot of people don't even need umbrellas. I mean, for me, I have umbrellas, but then like when I go out in this kind of weather, I'm just like, I'm never going to use this but like twice a year. So I'll just get wet. So that's how umbrellas work here. Here we call it Aurora Australis. We claim them for the entire southern hemisphere. Oh, really? Missing the Aurora Australis is a bootable offense. Bootable. How come Bangers gets a cool Dundee intro and I get a Bogan one? Because he was the first? I don't know. That's pretty much it. Those are the only Rossi references Rocky knows. It's absolutely true. The only other thing I could have thought of when I was thinking of Australian sound effects for people who are from Australia was like a didgeridoo. That was about it. That's all I got. It's a good thing, Rocky. Meanwhile, VPN sales go through the roof in Australia for kids, but the only way they can gauge that is by forcing all these sites to introduce digital ID style proof that all users are over 16. Oh, I see. That's going to get gnarly. You played Cranberries intros twice, but it's fitting because he makes multiple entrances per stream. Okay. Including Google search. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the butt. So basically you're saying that you have to add in an extra step or two before visiting every site. I already get annoyed with like the CAPTCHA. Like, are you a human? I hate that thing. I hate the cookies pop up. I'm just like, just get out of here. Pop-ups. Like, I don't want your stupid cookies. Beat says my daughter's fine. One dog visit was $250 for 20 minutes. Yeah. And that's why we get angry with our kids when they, they do risky things. It's not that they're going to get hurt. It's that it's going to cost us so much money for like for a doctor's visit. John's in the house.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
As we've learned from England, it's not about protecting children, but about identifying those who with wrong think. Oh yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff. I don't know if I'm just seeing like certain arm of the information about what's going on in England, just like the what do you call it? The clickbait stuff that's going on in England, but it sounds like it's kind of gnarly right now. A lot of unrest there, but who knows? I don't know. I don't keep in touch with, I should say, a lot of people that are in England. So sometimes I get calls from relatives or friends that are on the other side of the country and they're like, oh, how are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we just saw there was like an earthquake in San Francisco. Like, are you okay? And I'm like, I didn't even feel anything. I have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, I don't know if that's how it is right now in England, but I have been seeing a lot of like news blurbs that it's there's a lot of unrest going on in that part of the world. So it's crazy people. Just calm down. Everybody's saying hello, John, chat, Alan. John, are you the one who unsubbed to prevent Rocky from receiving the cursed 666 subs? I don't know. Somebody did. Sumo meant that I will never get a Bancroft gift membership. Oh, maybe, but you got one here, so congratulations. You better use it. It'll last you a month. And I still haven't got a notification of who got my gift membership. So I just threw those out into the ether and I don't know what happened. Lindsay says, I'll be lurking and packing. All right, Lindsay Rose, how did your wall finish paint? Did you finish painting your wall? I know that you were working on that last time. Rocky, I want the Comics XX experience. No bagger board. That's like a raincoat in the shower. Gross. Or the bag is like all black. Gross. Hold the tape. That deserves one of these. One beer name here is XXXX. We have Dos Equis, right? Isn't that 2 X's? You guys have, what is that? Quattro Equis? Is that what that means? I feel an XXXX coming on. Oh my goodness. XXXX is our VB. Michael Bancroft says, I'm waiting for Black Friday to get a new Canon. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, those DSLRs, at least the ones that the YouTubers use, they're really expensive, really pricey. I could never bite the bullet on those. Yeah, so I need to become like crazy rich, or like somebody needs to gift me like $2,000 on a YouTube stream, and then I'll buy a camera. But there's no way. Yeah, that's not chump change just lying around in my house. I got too many comics to buy to afford that kind of camera. How does your daughter feel about being named after a beer, Bancroft? We can only afford 2 of the X's. There you go. Doseki, very good. Only 6 hours left to my work week. Wow, that's awesome. Those are the days that you wish you were on the other side of the world until Sunday rolls around. I remember when Black Friday had exciting deals and not the current 8% off BS. Or like every day seems like Black Friday these days. I don't know. At least on Amazon it is. We tell her she's named after a queen. Oh, that's very sweet. I'm picking up Giant Size Hush 2 number 5 this afternoon. Have you gotten every single Giant Size? I didn't actually see the Giant Size version of number 5. Or what issue is this? 162. I didn't even see the Giant Size. I know they were producing one for each issue in the Hush 2 series. And the comic book stores that carry the big one for the first issue, which I got, I saw them get it for like the second one and the third one, but I haven't seen it for the last 2. So it made me think, like, did they stop, or are they not selling? Or maybe they just ordered one and they already sold out. I don't know. But yeah, that's a cool thing that they're doing there. But I can also imagine, yeah, I'm curious to see how much they made off of those giant sized versions, if it was a worthy investment for them to do that. If you're concerned about the difficulty of delivering Thai food, you could get them neckties. I could. That would be a little weirder, but it could. Weirder than Thai food. I could get them a Thai food necktie. The fog is caused by the night's chill combining with the heat rising from the street turds. Oh man, it's as if you live here. I can play a didgeridoo. Wow. Okay. My only, yeah, yeah. My like clearest memory of like an aborigine and a didgeridoo are like the character in, why am I blanking on his name? The character in Uncanny X-Men who was an aborigine and he could like teleport. What was his name? I can't believe I'm forgetting. It was with the Uncanny X-Men. But yeah, that's kind of my memory. I have not, if you haven't guessed it, I haven't been to your country or that side of the world, or that part of the world, I should say. I have been on that side of the world, but that part of the world. So I have a very, very elementary idea of what life is like there. But I'm learning more because Jeffrey Beats is sharing on Discord. See? Worth it. Hurt people. Bancroft is stifled by his government and in turn inflicts the very same gatekeeping on my insightful comments on his chat. Right? That's right. That's all he knows. That's the only example he's been given is gatekeeping. It's like trickles down. Hashtag justice for Mo. Stop the skip. Over 12,000 jail time convictions for social media posts in the UK. Next country is like 600. That's the stuff I've been seeing. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. I mean, for Americans, that ruffles the feathers like no other. For other countries, I don't know. People are like, me. It's okay. So, but definitely for the American, the DNA of this country, that like hits too close. It's pronounced 4x. XXXX is pronounced 4x. That's that makes sense. I feel like a 4x or 2. That would be an 8x. Jeffrey Beats. Wall edges were pretty crisp too, if I say so. Nice work, Lindsay Rose. That's awesome. Victoria is a great name, bangers. What about that time her dad fired her as the flatter on his book and publicly announced it? Did that happen? Dang. I bought all giant-sized Hush too. Okay, awesome. You're in. You're committed. That's great. Yeah. It's cool. It's really cool to see his artwork there. And I was just talking to a friend that I met at the comic book shop yesterday. And he's not picking up Hush 2. We were bringing it up. He's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, but Jim Lee, man, the guy's still in top form. If you can imagine, he's been doing this for, goodness, 30 plus years, and he's still in top form. Although he's very late with this latest issue. So yeah, but it's good. It's really good artwork, and it's great to see it large. Let's see. At this point, she'd be lucky to get a job as backup flatter on Mavericks. Lime Jello in the house. I should show you some Bora rings, Rocky. Some are 40,000 years old. Bora rings. Okay. Bora ring. Aboriginal ceremonial ground. Oh. Is this like is it an actual ring? No. Or is it like a piece of jewelry? Oh, it is. Bora rings are sacred ground. Bora jewelry is fine jewelry. Bora rings. Huh. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. So cultured. So cultured. 4X is a bad beer. You might be surprised to learn that most Aborigines here now have lighter skin than you do, Rocky. Wow. Really? Okay, that's interesting. They had a flatter, but they passed out from the fumes of the neon highlighter markers he ended up using. The joy of giant size Hush 2 is that is the size that he drew it at. Yes, looks awesome, brings another dimension. I'm curious if they're going to do some sort of like artist edition. This was like kind of the happy medium between consumer just buying the comic and collectors that love the large size, original size. So they kind of met you in the middle. It's not like you're seeing the original scans, but you're seeing the artwork blown up at that size. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. I just know for me, it's like a little pricier. I mean, a lot pricier. And yeah, like Jim Lee at that for all of the issues. I don't know if I could commit to buying that for that. Like if they did giant sized issues for all of the Nick Dragotta Absolute Batman, I would probably grab those. Or I'm trying to think what other art, like Raphael Grandpa, who still has to come out and finish his Batman Gargoyle Gotham. But if they did those at artist edition size, giant size, I would buy all those. So there's certain artists. Jim Lee, I got the first one, but I'm okay with not getting the other ones. All right, let's see. If you had not been skipping chats, Rocky, the reference would have made sense to you. Oh, that's why you guys are saying stop the skip. Stop the skip. I'm trying to get most of them. And then there's some that I'm skipping that are, I feel like you guys are having some side conversations that have nothing to do with me. But I guess that I shouldn't have skipped. I should just read every single one of these. That would be insane. I try and do. I feel like I read way more than some other YouTubers do. So yeah. Only if he's familiar with 499, John. I'm not. John's asking, are you familiar with 490 comic by your boy Zach and Narwhal? No. I am familiar with Narwhal. I have heard of your boy Zach. I know he's kind of there at the like genesis of the Comicsgate movement, but I don't know any books that he produced, or I haven't like dug deep into his world. If you get accused of skipping comments, just say you're looking at top chat. Smart. 60% of the time it works every time. That's really smart. I feel like I read way more than some other YouTubers do. Well, sure, if your only frame of reference is Michael Bancroft. Ouch. My goodness. How do you put up with it, Bancroft? Amazing. Okay, let's get into the comics. I caught up to the 60% of the chat. So let's get into the comics before it gets more out of hand here. So yeah, good mixture today of modern books or current books and back issue books. Oh yeah, I got that big. Oh, there's a good back issue we're going to be looking at today too. And then a graphic novel by DWJ. All right, here we go. Batman Hush 2. The what we've been discussing already is issue 162. There was quite a bit of delay. I want to say maybe 2-3 months delay on this. And I know a lot of real comic book store owners and comic shop news people were saying, like, where is this? Like, Jim Lee, they shouldn't have launched this if it wasn't ready to go from beginning to end. And I think maybe he felt like he could. I even read a social media post where he was apologetic of falling behind on this book. So I think maybe he must have had maybe like 3 or possibly 4 issues banked before they launched it and thought, oh yeah, I'm going to get to the end of this before it catches up to me. But he didn't. And then there was this huge delay already between the last issue and this one. So let me just look here. I just want to see how many issues is 2. The Hush 2 is a 12 issue run. So the first one was... See, this is the problem when you delay. I forget everything. The first issue was... That wasn't the first issue. That was the second issue. So I think the first issue was 158. 60. Where is that issue? Weird. I was just missing number 1 of another book. And then now I'm missing the first issue of Batman Hush. Oh! I know why I don't have it, because it's the giant size one. Duh. So yeah, this is the 5th issue. 162 is the 5th issue, and we're not even halfway. First part consists of 6 issues, which ran from Batman 158 to 163 in 2025. Second set of 6 issues expects to follow at a later date, tentatively in 2026. Oh, so he's taking a little break between the 2 6-parters. I see. So one more issue in this first arc or first 6 issue part. But yeah, the delay should have happened after he finished the first 6 issues. So it's kind of unfortunate. Like, we're not even at the logical breaking point that he could take a pause, and he got caught up with him. But I don't know. He's running DC. He's like the main chief officer, president, whatever of DC. So I'm sure that takes up some of his time. But I think it was a little bit of a planning misstep, that they didn't just finish all the 6 issues before they launched it. Because Yeah, the delay is just not great. Not the greatest thing. But anyway, regardless, here it is. Issue 162. And yeah, I mean, it also doesn't hurt, or it probably does hurt, that he's drawing like almost every character in the Batman universe here. So Robin, Nightwing, Huntress, Catwoman, Batgirl, obviously Batman, and then just introducing all the rogues gallery. But yeah, Jim Lee is still doing Jim Lee stuff, and it's really impressive at his age and just how long he's done this, that he can still draw like this. It's really good. Yeah, it's funny. I can't remember what book it was. Oh yeah, it was the like Deadpool Batman book that Sinclair was doing the colors. Actually, a similar thing. There was like a window and it like crashing through a window. But I really like this. I like the colors on this. They work with Jim Lee's artwork. He's just not slacking on art. It's good. It's really good. Classic Jim Lee stuff. This Catwoman's hot. Wow, that's cool. Double pager. Damian on a bat cycle or a Damian cycle or whatever they call it. One thing I noticed too a lot about the coloring. I don't know. I'd have to look at a bunch of books by Alex Sinclair's work, but I do notice he uses a lot of like blurs and lighting effects in this Hush 2 and the way he's coloring Hush 2. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, you can really feel it here, like with these headlamps and just the highlights, all this extra business to make the coloring look a lot more cinematic. The Riddler. I don't know if this is the way the Riddler looks now or if this is just the way he looks in Jim Lee's world. He's a little too cool for school. I like my Riddler when he's like a little gangly and like nerdy almost, like a brainiac. He looks too cool. Yeah, there's a lot of these glow effects. It's raining. It's cool though. It feels like it's rain for sure. But the colors are still bright for a rainy thing. It's not like they're dull gray coloring. It seems like the mandate was like, just crank up the saturation, Alex. Just crank it up. Everything's really vibrant. Even the dark areas. All right, let's see. Your boy Zach and John Malin were the first to crowdfund in Comicsbait, hence Comicsbait founding father John Malin. Awesome. I kind of knew that about John Malin. And I didn't know like the definitive that they were the first to crowdfund in Comicsgate. So, okay, that's cool. Your boy Zach buggered off. Okay. And Kelsey, John. Oh, this is great. This is like a history lesson. I don't like dog tags. His next campaign after saying they featured a dog tag tier. That cover is naff. Naff. Is that a good thing? What does naff mean? That must be an Aussie expression. Naff. Naff. Kelsey's art was featured in the same Jawbreakers book as Malin. Kelsey was in Lost Souls. He did book 2. Okay, this is all information is new to me. Granted, Malin's art was much more prominent, as was EVS's cover. Kelsey is a good artist. Shame he ditched CG. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of Kelsey's work here and there. There was one book that I crowdfunded or bought that was crowdfunded called I think it was Nora's Saga or something. It was one of the first when I was looking at independent books. I was like, oh, cool, this art looks cool. He's great. He's got such a really natural, loose style. Batman Hash 4 Giant Size was great action. Gosh, I don't even remember what happened in that one. I feel like there's been good action in all of these. It's kind of the mandate of just amping up everything going on here. And that's what makes me feel like it's just like Jim Lee is he's almost doing like the Image thing in this book and making everything as exciting as possible. Whoa. Activate. Can you just die? I'm not a big fan of Jim Lee's Joker. That's just me. He's too buff. Joker's a tough one, right? It's like depending on which artist is drawing him, they kind of bring out certain things, but seeing Jim Lee exaggerate his nose and his chin as Joker has, but in a Jim Lee way, just doesn't totally work for me. All right, cool. I mean, it's what Hush 2 has been this whole time. No complaints. My only complaint is Jeff Loeb's writing, but I mean, it's fine for what it is. It's not totally memorable. I find a lot of Jeff Loeb stuff like that. It's he does a lot of setup, but then it can get quite convoluted at times. Too many characters, too many now you see it or plot twist kind of things. He did that in Long Halloween, and even the Long Halloween, Last Halloween, kind of falls trap to the same little writing issues. But yeah, the artwork looks awesome. Come on, Jim Lee, get on schedule, dude. All right, Batman Hush 2, number 162. After the recent Solon Master Study election, I suggest for next week the cover giant-sized Man-Thing in the style of Rod Looper. Master Study, stolen Master Study. I saw your comment out there, Mo Biggs. Mo Biggs felt like Mark's Music Obsession may have had too much of an influence on that vote because he was pushing hard for the Dr. Doom. But I say, hey, man, every vote was one... I mean, if people are going out of their way to make extra counts to push a vote in one way, that's effort. I will applaud. But yeah, that was a tight race. The winner of the Master Study, I don't know if you guys saw that on my YouTube community post, but the winner of that one is the Dr. Doom image, which is going to be awesome. The vertical image, a double pager of Dr. Doom. Really excited about that. I was even talking to Chris at the comic store that I was doing that for the next Master Study. So yeah, I can't wait. I got a lot of prep to do because there's a couple things I need to figure out. One, I got to blow it up to size, but two, also I need to figure out how that's properly pieced together on the artboard. There is a certain way, the measurements are a little different when you're using that board for a double page spread versus a cover or just a single pager. So I got to make sure I get all that roughly together. But I'm really excited to start that one. That one's going to be awesome. So yeah, stay tuned for when we do the first stream on that one. Okay, roll out. Tons of detail on these pages, absolutely. I was wondering why Batman looked cool in this book. I've gotten so used to you showing Absolute Batman. Now, I like Absolute Batman's design better than Jim Lee's Batman. I mean, he draws great, awesome style. I wouldn't say Jim Lee's Batman is in my like top 5 renditions of or versions of Batman. Yeah, I don't think it even cracks the top 5. So it's good. It looks good like a Jim Lee Batman, but I'm not like, oh, that's like the most amazing Batman. Absolute Batman is kind of its own thing, but I do love that. I do love that. I'm going to look away, but listen in. Oh, sorry, Jeffrey Beats. Sorry. Yeah. Didn't realize you didn't read it yet. Deichel. That is a cool page. Do you think all the bells and whistles make the panels harder to follow? Simpler blue pages look more impactful to me. Okay, I love this. I love this conversation. You would like this because you're coloring stuff that looks like this right now. This could be a page out of your comic. Okay, so let's compare this page to like this page or something. Let me see more. I mean, there are a lot of colors going on. Where's that Damien page? This one. This compared to this. It's different. It's different. It's busy for sure, but like, how can you? I mean, I think a bike pulling Batman in a night scene in the rain is going to be a little bit more chaotic than like Batman and Catwoman talking in a cathedral at night. And it's actiony, you know, they're kind of, it's a little bit more sedate here, subdued. It's not my preferred style, but I'm not against it. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's cool, and I think it works for what Jim Lee has been doing this whole time in this series. So I don't think they're bad colors by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if the whole book was color like simpler like this, sure. I'm not a big fan of computery effects. No matter how good the color theory is or, you know, what's happening in the scene, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm more for the like flatter effects, less computery stuff. Like, you lose all this line work that Scott Williams did. He's trying to indicate the glow of the headlights here with the ink work he's doing, and then they just blur it all out with these lighting. But yeah, I don't know. It gives a certain vibe. It gives a certain vibe for sure, the way they color it. But I think that's what Hush 2 is. And then when you insert so many characters, you're going to get these crazy colors. There's like all the colors of the rainbow. Like DCKO is like that. They throw in all the characters. They're going to get all the colors of the rainbow just colliding on screen. You know what would be interesting is to like take scans of all these pages or like the digital versions of these pages and like shrink them down and then look at like a color script of the whole book and see how clear or not clear it is. That would be interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of colors going on. But good question. NAF is bad. Oh, okay. NAF. This covers NAF. Really? It's okay. It's naff. Okay, I'm going to use that. For my own. Jim Lee bores me, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says. Dang. Naff means it's lacking. What annoys me about Jim Lee is his competence and visual appeal of his work. He could learn a thing or two from the absolute line. Agree, it's not very attention grabbing. The cover, Bangers understands me, Jeffrey Beat says. Clown Man, yes. How are you supposed to get invested in a Batman who doesn't have a pinhead straight out of a freak show? Right? Australians should get behind Jim Lee as he's actually from Wagga. I appreciate the hand-drawn art while we're still getting it. Church group came through for Mark. Yeah, see? If Mark's music obsession was like, you know, working that angle of his gal and her church group to vote, I'm all for that, for sure. Cut to Mark in a room with like 5 accounts open, all voting for the same thing. Mark's pick one and he's not even here. Lindsay Rose said, I voted for Cap, though. I know, it was a good one, guys. I feel ya. That image that was second in place, I think it was second place, was that first Captain American image. It was a really good one. Jim Lee's Batman doesn't have to be in anyone's top 5 to look better than Absolute Trash Man. Floppies used to have thicker cover stock. So that's kind of interesting. You should bring that up. Like, it does feel like the paper is changing for floppies compared to before. And it even makes me wonder, like, well, we're going to look at one of these back issues today. And the insides are black and white, but it's just different. It feels totally different. And I do feel like the paper quality is a lot thinner and like cheaper for a lot of floppies these days. The Ghost Machine books, those guys, they spend on higher quality printing. But like this Transformers book in particular, like this, and the Hush 2 book, it has the same feeling of, I don't know if it's recycled paper or something thinner about it. But yeah, you don't feel any difference between the cover and the interior. Maybe that's why they were able to keep it down to $3.99. I don't know. But yeah, there's something different with it. Thankfully, the Lucent doesn't have this many purples. I think the colorist might have overcooked a touch. He cranked it up a little bit. He for sure did. Explosion page looks great, though. That's a Wagga explosion color right there. Floppies are thinner. Yeah. Yeah, it feels different. Okay. Transformers number 26. This is the first complete issue of the Robert Kirkman, Dan Mora foray into Transformers. This cover is by this guy DNA. He does a lot of, I hate his signature. No offense, dude. Great artist, but I don't like his signature. It's like a impact font on a slant. It just feels really computery, actually. Maybe that's why he's doing it that way, but this is a cool cover. Really cool cover, actually. And he does a little blur effect back here. But yeah, this is the first complete issue that Dan Mora is working on. He did like half of like 25. The other half was Jorge Corona kind of handing off the baton to this new team. And I would say, like, Dan Mora, I was just talking to a friend yesterday, and we were just saying that Dan Mora feels like the Jim Lee of this generation. He's, like, working on a lot of books, working really fast, has a clean style, a set style, like, that's super appealing and can just draw anything. And that's what this guy feels like. He's doing so much work right now. I really like, speaking of colors, I really like Mike Spicer as a colorist. He does great work. He's the main colorist that has done most, if not all, of Daniel Warren Johnson's work on his myriad of books. But so it's nice to see him coloring another dude. And yeah, this is awesome. I love this combo right here. It's a cool looking Optimus Prime. It's cool because robots are blocky and inorganic, but he does this, you know, this is kind of how the toys were, and I think the cartoons were like this too, but they give him a little bit of like curve in certain spots, and it just gives this like, makes him feel a little bit more human than, and not as cold as an inanimate object. That's a cool Optimus Prime, man. It's really cool. I love DWJ's Optimus Prime. So it was hard for me to think of another artist being able to top that, and it's pretty cool. Colors have a lot to do with how rich this feels too. Yeah, I mean, look at the yeah, look at the color choices here. That's awesome. Compared to what we were just looking at, the Hush 2, like this, there's tons of subtlety going on here. And I know this is just a boring establishing shot, but there's tons of subtlety going on here. It's great. Feels dirty. Sets the tone and the location of where it's supposed to be, but still comic booky. Doesn't look too real. It doesn't look hyper real. Just great faces. Like carves them. Yeah, I think DWJ and Jorge Corona, who was the artist that took over after him, they leaned into the cartooniness of Transformers, and their stories were over the top and kind of cartoony. I feel like the Kirkman, and I haven't read this yet, but I feel like Dan Mora and Kirkman are probably leaning more into the like realism of a bit of it. Still feels cartoony, feels like your toys, but it feels a lot more serious too, just because of the style. It's cool. Not your cup of tea? Where's Katie? It's cool. Think it's cool. Just when I thought I was gonna drop this or not pick up another Transformers because DWJ was leaving. Oh, looks pretty cool. I don't know how long Dan Mora is gonna be on this. Let's find out. How long? Kirkman Mora. What? Oh, maybe it's referencing. Oh, I see. Maybe it's referencing what's gonna come out. It says Transformers Volume 5, Kirkman, Dan Mora, which will be 144 pages long in the next collected edition. So it's gonna be at least 6 issues. Barbara Kirby's episode. It doesn't say though how long it's gonna run. which is kind of surprising because I felt like DC had Dan Mora like locked in as their go-to guy, their main artist. So the fact that he committed to being the ongoing artist for Transformers as well is kind of crazy. But right now he can't do any wrong, so I think he's just grabbing it as he can, as much as he can. Michael Bancroft says, I like how all the art teams are different, but it all looks like it's from the same story. Maxi Diallo would have been a good replacement or continue on from Corona. Maxi Diallo. What did he draw? Maxi Diallo. Wait, that's not the right Maxi Diallo. He's from Argentina. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. He's got this kind of brushy style. That's cool. Yeah, he would be a cool replacement. I like the robot better than this drawing. It's got kind of some Paul Pope-isms in his ink work. Cool. Maybe less ink these days too. Expensive toilet paper. My Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 hates it. Hates the paper now. Good colors. Cup of tea. Dan Mora is not a DC guy exclusively. Really? They didn't lock him in? I feel like he's drawing everything in DC, like some Justice League books. He's doing a DCKO book. Not the main DCKO book, but like a side one. He's doing a Superman book, I thought. Everything I see he's doing is DC stuff. Maxi is more of an indie artist, but he started to get some mainstream work recently. Cool. I dig this Transformers, but I'd never buy it, Jeffrey Beats says. What's stopping you from buying it, Jeffrey Beats? I'm curious. Like, what's the line for you of like, well, I'm not a big fan of Transformers, or whatever. I'm not a huge fan of Dan Mora's art, whatever. I'm really curious to know, because I know every collector has their thing, right? Their must-haves with what they want in a book, and I am the same way. Like certain qualities and certain styles I need, and some things I'm not too into. So yeah, I'd be curious to see what yours are. You're right. He just breached his contract to do this. Well, okay. Obviously, he's not exclusive, but I could have sworn he locked in some sort of contract with DC. Tragic part of that cover is the art is great and the paper lets it down. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Redcoat, number 15. So this is like, just speaking of cover stock, I can see the difference. The Ghost Machine guys, they print on this heavier cardstock for the cover. And then, let me see, the interior pages. I guess it's relatively same for the interior pages. Yeah. But it's nice to have this cover. I like that it's not a satin cover too, but it's not a glossy cover. It's like matte, but not like super matte. I don't know how to describe it. But all of their books have the same heavier cover stock. It makes a difference. The books sit nicer. They damage less. They have a nicer print quality, I'd say. So it matters. But the cover price is the same, $3.99, $3.99. So either they're taking less of a cut on the profit for their books, the Ghost Machine guys are, or yeah, it's just a conscious choice. I don't know. I thought for sure this would be $1 more than the Transformer books, but they're the same cost. So Redcoat number 15 keeps the hits keep on coming. Speaking of good colorists, Brad Anderson, we know we've praised him much on this channel. Great colorist. This is a beast of a double pager right here because of all those dang bricks. That looks painful. These are one of those pages that are like really impressive. Like that's a great establishing shot, but I can't imagine having to sit down and draw this. It's great. It's like it's nothing superhero-y or anything happening, but it's really well drawn. And it's fitting for this book. This kind of period piece, historical look and feel. Oh, dang. What? They just revealed, sorry, spoiled it for you guys. They just revealed we're on a reality for Redcoat where he has a daughter. And a son. Oh my goodness. I'd never realized I'd be so shocked and pleasantly surprised at a comic book that was just revealing to me that the main character has a family. That's cool because the whole time, you know, Redcoat has just been this cad, like no ties whatsoever, not settling down, just like indulging all the vices of the world because he knew he can never die and that he was immortal. So he was not a family man by any stretch of the imagination, but I guess this story they're going to do it. That's great. That's cool. I love where they're going with this book. Oh, that's cool. So, if you've read this series from the beginning, one of the characters that Redcoat crossed over with was Albert Einstein, but as a kid. And then one of the stories that they wrapped up, he was at Albert Einstein's deathbed. So now he's meeting him as this like middle-aged man. That's fun. Benedict Arnold is back. So cool. Great. Love it. What a surprise. I mean, this was like the most non-superhero book you can think of as I was flipping through this, but I was like really looking forward to turning every page. I think it's just testament that I've like invested in this character. I really like this character. I thought this would be my least favorite Ghost Machine book, just because I'm not a huge like history buff, and I thought, how interesting is it gonna be? But the writing has been so good on this book, and he's just a likable jerk. So this is an awesome plot direction to go. My hat's off to you, Jeff Johns. That's a great. Cool. Okay, something for everyone. Cool. More advertisements. new books coming out for Ghost Machine. They keep on trucking. Most of these books are hitting like 10 issues already, 10 plus issues. So it's amazing. It's amazing. It's funny because you would think they're launching all these books, or they launched 6 books or so, and like each one is like gaining XP. And I expected like after the first 6 months to a year, certain ones would take the pole position and be like, oh, okay, that's the one hit that we nailed out of the 6 books we launched. But man, they've just been pushing all of them up and raising the bar on all of these books. Very impressive. I really am curious I'll probably have to dig in more. I don't know if they've let it under the hood as much, but I really be curious to see how they plan these things out and how collaborative it is and how these artists like interact with each other. Is it everybody's like, they have one kickoff meeting at the beginning of the year of like, this is what we're going to do with Redcoat. This is what our team's going to do. And this is what we're doing with Rook Exodus. And this is what we're doing with Geiger. All right, that's great. Go team. And then everybody just goes their separate ways? Or is there constant collaboration and feedback? Because the quality level has been super impressive. Yeah, it's great. Great stuff. All right, let's see. Sumo Thori says, gotta go later chat. See you later, Sumo Thori. Thanks for stopping in here. Colors in this series are out of this world. I agree, Michael Bancroft. Really, if I had to choose colorists between this and Hush 2, I would go this in a heartbeat. I love what Brad Anderson does. I think Alex Sinclair is a great colorist, but I love what Brad Anderson is doing. And arguably he uses, he's using camera effects and stuff too, but it's glows, but it's just way more tasteful. What would be interesting to see is if you were to take this book and swapped colorists and say, here, Alex Sinclair, you take Redcoat and you color it, and then Brad Anderson, you color Hush 2, and then see the difference between the two. I always love comparisons like that because you see what the artist inserts and how they insert themselves. Have I shared? I think I've shared with you guys. It's not coloring, but it's an inking book. Have I shared this book with you guys? One second. I know I've talked about this book before. I just don't remember when or what was the context. But this is The Art of Comic Book Inking by Gary Martin. Gary Martin, he floats around with a lot of those Comicsgate professionals. Awesome inker. And this book came out in '97. And then he's since released another edition, which is similar but different. But the thing I love about this and why I just remembered it was what he did is he took a penciled page by Steve Rude and then he gave it to these different inkers. And then you can see in this book how each inker approaches the same pencils. And I've seen this done before, but this was one of the better examples of it. So like Terry Austin, I've talked about Terry Austin a number of times, especially in regards to like being the best primary and, in my opinion, best inker of like John Byrne, Arthur Adams. It's incredible. So it's like, this is what Terry Austin would do for that penciled page of Steve Rude. And this is, this incredibly tight inked penciled page by Steve Rude, right? So this is what Terry Austin would do. So it's awesome to see like for like this kind of effect, this is how Terry Austin would approach it with dry brush and his techniques and blah, blah, blah. And then you can see this is Gary Martin. This is how Gary Martin would do it. So there's similarities, but there's also differences too, right? So it's awesome to compare. And then Tom Palmer, another great inker. And then Steve Rude himself, the guy who was the penciler, this is how he would ink it, which you would think is like, okay, he's got to be the best inker for himself, right? I'd argue yes, but there's also some other great inkers. So anyway, my point being, it's really cool to see and compare Scott Williams, who inker on Hush 2, and Jim Lee's primary inker. It's cool to see like how each artist approaches the same task differently. And I would love to see Brad Anderson color Jim Lee's stuff. I know he's colored Batman stuff before, like with DC, but yeah, it would be really cool to see how he would color Hush 2, and then vice versa. All right, Redcoat 15, great. I was like, I don't know, there's something about that like warms my heart. Pleasantly surprised. Okay, now we're getting into the back issue territory. Some that I found in the dollar box. Michael Bancroft says, I describe this as almost European inspired. Yeah, the Redcoat, yeah, I could see that for sure. Specifically because it's not a superhero book and it's a period piece. So yeah, it does have a little bit more Euro to it. Emo, he's showing your book. Yeah, she loves Redcoat. Not a DC guy because it's one of Bancroft's, catchphrases. The line for me is that as much as I like it, I don't relate to Transformers story anymore. That's fair. Totally fair. And I never did too. I was not a big reader of the Transformer comics like when we were kids. And I know there's some people that are like die-hard Transformers fans. I even had a friend in college who she was a die-hard Ghostbusters fan. And I was like, really? Like, I like the cartoon, I like the movie, but the comics? And she just loved the Ghostbusters comics. I don't know why, but there was just something about it. And there's a whole fandom of Ghostbuster people that love that stuff. Transformers movies was pinnacle for me. Oh, so good. Still good. Me Too, Sumo Theory. Later. Oh, okay, see you later, Mo Big. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, we got that. Ciao, Mo Bigs. The colors are still vibrant in this one. Saturation is up. That's pretty foreboding. How does time travel work in this book? So he dies somehow. And then he wakes up and, I mean, he dies, but he comes back to life. So I guess he's not immortal. That's not true. He lives long. But if he dies, in whatever particular case, if he dies, he wakes up and he's in a different time period. So Benedict Arnold, that's right, he's back. I'm a huge history buff. Maybe this is a read for me. It's good, Jeffrey Beats. If you like, I mean, this is focused on American history, so I don't know if that's part of your interest. But if you do, it's awesome because, and again, I'm not a huge history buff, but I've been picking up all 15 issues of Redcoat that's come out. So it's really cool because it's like it ties in stories you're familiar with in American history. Or even American mythos like, Johnny Appleseed or George Washington or Benedict Arnold and all that, Albert Einstein, but then it ties it into Simon Pure, the guy who is Redcoat, and he kind of meets all these people. So it's really fun. And so there's some crazy aspects to it, which are otherworldly and kind of mystical. And then there's some that they try and incorporate the historical information. Bancroft says he's only checked out Rook, Exodus, Hyde Street, and Redcoat. All great ones. Geiger is really good, Michael Bancroft, if you like post-apocalyptic story. That one's arguably the most superhero-ish because of his powers. But he's got a great character story in that one too. And that one has been going on longer than That one, Geiger was out before Ghost Machine even became a real thing. I think they just called it like a Ghost Machine label, but I don't think they had set up the company and all the other books yet, but they already had Geiger going. So it's got a little bit more history than Redcoat or Rook Exodus or Hyde Street. Hyde Street's awesome. Yeah, I think the thing that's the most amazing about Ghost Machine is the genres that they've picked are not genres that I would naturally gravitate towards in comics, and they've made them all awesome for me. So like horror, history, those I would be more likely to pick up like a Geiger or Rook Exodus, but horror and history, no way. And they make them awesome, and I think Hyde Street and Redcoat are some of the best. I feel like I need to read previous Geiger stuff before jumping into new stuff. Nope, not necessary. I didn't. I started when the new stuff came out, and I'm totally, it's totally fine. They like sprinkle in some backstory as they go, so you don't really need to fill in those blanks. They do it for you. So yeah, it's not necessary. We had Redcoats in Oz at one stage of our history. Oh, okay. That's cool. Emo trash. I have a membership? Yeah. Congratulations. I don't know how you got one. I think you got one gifted to you a couple streams ago. Congratulations and welcome. And I'm kind of offended by this because you of anybody would know. For sure you of anybody would know that I'd still be going. No, there you go. Welcome, Emo Trash. Good seeing you. Die Horde. Absolutely. That would be an awesome name for a comic. I'm writing that down. Die Horde. I have this list. I think it's like this running list in my phone. Just when I hear like crazy names or crazy ideas, I'll like put it in the list. And sometimes I go back and read it and I'm like, I don't even know what that means. And I don't even know why I wrote that down, but Die Horde, that's a good name. Did you look for Sabretooth series? I can't even send you mine at the moment. That's a Doctor Who storyline. What a rip. Some of my ancestors left Australia for America. No kidding, in the 1800s. Did I look for the Sabretooth series? I have not. No, I haven't been able to fill in the blanks yet of that series. Can't even send you mine at the moment. Why not? Junkyard Joe was the other one. Yes. And Junkyard Joe does not have a regular series right now, but they are incorporating it into the Geiger storyline. I don't know. They might split it out again or whatever. Geiger and Hyde Street look great. Yes. Hyde Street's art is some of the best out there from Ghost Machine. It's amazing. Amazing. Ivan Reis and Danny Miki. Okay. This issue, Dark Horse Presents 100. I vaguely remember when this came out. And it looks like they did like 5 issues of Dark Horse Presents 100. Maybe they were celebrating the 100th issue. I can't exactly remember. But the cool thing about this is it's just kind of like Dark Horse Presents, for those of you who don't know, is kind of like an anthology book where they would put together different short stories in one. I think my cat just woke up. I just heard something over my head. I think they jumped down from the bed. I hope. Otherwise, I have a burglar coming in here. So it's an anthology book, and they would put together these short stories, 3 to 4 short stories in one book, and they'd print them. It had a very indie vibe to it, where they would, I think they were, ultimately the goal was just trying to find the next hit. So they'd give different creators a chance to like do small short stories, and then if they did well and they sold well or were popular, they would give them their own series. Or they would get already established creators like a Frank Miller, a Mike Mignola, or whatever, and they would give them an opportunity to do their own short story and then compile them all in a Dark Horse Presents. So a bunch of these came out, in the past. I don't know if Dark Horse Presents is still a thing, but it was so cool to find these. I found a couple of these in the back issue box today, but I'll just show you this one for now. So this one contains 6 stories. We'll focus on 2 stories. But the reason why I picked up this issue was, one, the first story was drawn by Mike Mignola, a Hellboy story, which is awesome. And then the other story that I really wanted to look at was a Paul Pope story in the back. So I love that this is printed on like the cheaper paper, cheaper newsprint at the time. What is this? 1995. Quite a while ago. 10, 20, 30 years ago. Wow. 30 years ago. This cover is a Bernie Wrightson cover. So Hellboy has already been established as like a hit for Dark Horse. That's why Mike Mignola gets top billing. But man, there is something about seeing Mignola's art in black and white on this newsprinty stuff that just hits differently. When I saw this, I was like, wow. It's just beautiful. Beautiful, pure composition. Mignola at his best. And to be honest, Mike Mignola is not... He's kind of reached the stratosphere of like comic art, and he's just hit that point where he doesn't... I don't even think he needs to really work that much anymore, to be honest. And so every now and then, I mean, Hellboy is still coming out and he's still writing all these stories. He's definitely writing a lot, but most of the Hellboy stuff that comes out now is being illustrated by a bunch of different people. And every once in a while, maybe once a year, once every 2 years, Mike Mignola will do a Hellboy story. It'll be a 2 to 3 issue miniseries, come out in floppies, and then they'll compile it in a little graphic novel, and then it'll be another Hellboy thing. But I feel like, in my humble opinion, is he should do these. Like, he should do short little 5... Well, how many pages is this? 10-page stories in a like anthology book. Do them in black and white and just make them self-contained and be done. Like, it just feels like a serial story, like a pulp serial story. And it's just beautiful, and it lends itself really well to this format, this anthology format. I don't need to see a huge epic Hellboy story. I just want the little like radio play adventure that he goes on, fight Satan, and then be done with it at the end. You know what I mean? And this is exactly what this short story is. So this is so cool. When were we talking one of the streams about the non-shoulder Hellboy? Oh, it's beautiful. And Mike Mignola's had some great colorists, like simple colorists, but great colorist work on his stuff. But I don't need to see it like as great as those colorists are, and they've been some of the best. His black and white work is just perfection for me. I don't need to see color one bit on this. It's great. Look at this transition from this frame to this frame. It's just getting burnt up, and then it's so good. This is like storytelling at its best. Look at this, like this nun, she's got a cross on, and then this priest, cross snaps, and then these flames hit, and he's still in the same position. His bones are still in the same position. Everything's burnt off, and her cross is still there floating up. Amazing. Yeah. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. It's like this stuff, like if they had if Dark Horse just printed anthologies. Hello. You did wake up. Hello. That's my cat. If Dark Horse just printed anthologies with like a 10-pager Mignola story, 10-pager Frank Miller story. In black and white. Whoever else wants to join the party. 10-pager Paul Pope story, or I want to just see who else in the Dark Horse universe. Like a 10-pager Arthur Adams story. That would be awesome. That's great. Really cool. These formats, this anthology format, sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. But if you get the right people in it, man, it's like a different format for comics, a different expectation for a story that I think could work really well. So yeah, skip past these. I'm not a super huge fan of these other artists. And then here is the Paul Pope story. I've never seen this story before. It's called Yes. And actually looking at this, it actually reminds me of a lot of the influences that Daniel Warren Johnson has, which is kind of interesting. Paul Pope is an American artist from New York. He went to Europe and studied comic stuff. He went to Japan and worked for manga artists to learn from them. And then he came back here and he kind of mixed it all together and has his signature style. And Daniel Ward Johnson kind of has a similar path. I don't think he necessarily went to Japan or Europe to work, but he was highly influenced by that stuff. And you can see it, like you can see some similarities in their techniques. It's cool. It's this crazy bicycle story, but I love it. It again works super well in black and white. We're not telling a huge dramatic 144-page graphic novel story. It's just like a, let's see, it started on 25, ends on suiting 32, so 7-page story. It's great. I love this format. I love the anthology format. I can show you guys too really quick the other one. Here. This is the other one, the Dark Horse Presents. Again, similar anthology format. Mike Mignola headlining it right here. These are only 4 stories. So good. It's too good, man. Mike Mignola. This was only, I mean, this is part 4 of a bigger story. Part 4 of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. Awesome. And then the other page in here that the other story I liked here was a Frank Quitely story. This one. Seeing his stuff in black and white is awesome too. Yeah, there's something about it. Something about black and white art. All right. Anyway, you guys get the picture. Dark Horse Presents. It was cool to kind of catch this. You don't see that many anthologies out anymore, really. And if you do, you don't see them this stripped down. This just feels like Dark Horse getting back to their independent roots, which I love, and just trying out a bunch of different stories. Michael Bancroft says, I need to jump back into Hellboy. Hellboy is awesome. Yes, jump back into Hellboy. I literally stepped away to wash a pot. You're offended by what? By birds that poop on girls? I shall offend him for the rest of his days. I wouldn't want any way different. Emo trash. Why is Tide detergent so scented? Can't you get that unscented detergent? I think I do. Sometimes it can be a little bit overbearing for sure. Okay, guys, I cannot wait to go through this, but I'm going to catch up in chat, but I cannot wait to go through this. Was one of the best comics I ever read? Yes. Was it my favorite cat? No. This is the naughty one. Lucky says hi. Hello, Lucky. Why would you jump back into Hellboy, Bancroft? Looks like a solid blend of European manga. Yep, that's Paul Pope. And I don't know. I didn't see in the store. I heard that they're releasing one of the books that made Paul Pope, like, put him on the map as far as being a comic book artist, is this series that he did called THB. And I heard that they just reprinted it and pulled it and released a new compilation of his of THB. But I didn't see it in the store, so I got to look around. There's another store that is more likely to carry stuff like that, so Mission Comics. So I might need to go stop by there and check it out, because that would be awesome, and I would love to see that. If I were to start over, I'd learn how to draw like Mignola. It's not easy, and I think because, like, he has boiled it down to perfection of what his style is, that I don't think anybody can really copy that, really. I mean, he's part like Kirby, part, I know earlier stuff he had like a John Byrne influence in his stuff. Definitely Kirby, a lot of Kirby in his work. At one point, P. Craig Russell was inking his work, and there was a lot of influences there. It's just this crazy amalgam of different things. And then I know, like, part of some of the interviews I've read with Mignola is like, he said, I'm just lazy. So, like, he just has made simplified things, but that simplification and that language he created in his artwork is so uniquely him that, yeah, I think it would be hard to, like, replicate. I've seen some artists try and do the Mignola thing, and it's always a pale comparison to him, because it's just him. It's just his essence. Those DHP pages look gorgeous. Yeah, thanks. Turgent was a trial pod. Nice. And lime jello. I mean, stripped down art. Yes. Yeah. I think try, I mean, you might already do this, Michael Bancroft, but try, like, working really small, like tiny like thumbnails. I know I've seen your work, and, like, you can get super detailed and, like, you know, a lot of, like, perspective and just environments. You're really great at, like, incorporating all that stuff and placing that in your work, and it tells the story too. But try, like, I think, like, Mignola, when he does his thumbnails, are super tiny, and he just sees the composition at that size and locks it in at that size. And then when he's just blowing it up, he's just filling in some details. But at the end of the day, it's like he almost strips it down to the essence of what it is. But yeah, he's one of a kind. He's very hard to replicate what he does. But yeah, that simplicity too. I always think, like, the simpler the art, maybe not the harder as far as labor, but just to get that stuff to read and to look right and be interesting and dynamic and not boring, not, like, kiddish, is really hard. And Mignola is one of the few that can do that well. Okay, this is the last book that I'll share with you guys that I got from the dollar bin. I was surprised that I found this book there, because this is actually a hard one to find. If you're looking for this book just at, like, on eBay or at back issue stores and stuff, it's not that easy to find. It's a really popular issue that a lot of people like to have. So I was surprised to find this in the dollar bin. I already own a copy. I think I own a couple copies of this, but I was like, I can't pass this up for $1. This will just be my reader copy now. But Jason Pearson, talked about him before. Body Bags is his original creation. Jason Pearson's passed away, unfortunately. And one of the things I was promoting a lot in my stream a few months ago was this artist edition that's going to be coming out for body bags. I think it's shipping out in December, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so that'll be a whole thing. When that comes out, you guys will know about it. I'll show it on stream because I ordered it. I'm very excited about that. But I love Jason Pearson's work. He's one of those touchstones for me because he combined... It's like he was highly influenced by Michael Golden. You guys know how much I love Michael Golden, and it's this balance between realism and cartooniness that I found Pearson and Golden really mastered. And also they're just incredible dynamic artists, like the compositions they pick. Jason Pearson in particular is a phenomenal storyteller. Like how he paces out a story, particularly action, how he paces it out, the compositions he picks. It's always exciting. It feels like you're watching an action movie. And that is pretty much what Body Bags is about. It's just like cool action, super cool characters, and his sense of design and graphic storytelling is rooted in the Gaijin studios. So that was like Brian Stelfreeze, Adam Hughes, Jason Pearson, Cully Hamner. Those guys, they had a certain style, a certain way of playing shadows in their work. And Jason Pearson was part of that. So he did Body Bags, the miniseries. That's what that artist edition is going to be reproducing. And then he did some other short stories here and there. This one shot was one of them that he did. And it's a full book, which is awesome. A lot of the Body Bag stories were just short stories. But this one is so good and really, really fun story. I would say Jason Pearson, there's actually a few YouTube videos I've watched where they talk about the evolution of Jason Pearson's style, because he goes through different phases. He started off and was a little bit more realistic in his stuff. Then he slowly got more cartoonier, and then he went full on cartoony. My favorite level of Jason Pearson's stuff was around here. So this is the original Body Bags miniseries. I keep this right next to my desk. And then he preceded this. He did this Dragon series for Savage Dragon. One of the best Savage Dragon renditions of all time, in my opinion. And somewhere in here is like, this was like peak Jason Pearson for me. It's actually a Michael Golden cover. Oh no. Is this a Michael Golden cover? I think this is a Michael Golden cover. Oh no. This is a Jason Pearson cover. These are the Michael Golden covers. Anyway, love his style. It's a mixture of action, cartooniness, realism, dynamics, and even manga is in there like too. It's just all super cool. I love this. This style here that he did this one shot is a little where he was pushing farther into the cartooniness aspect, which isn't bad, but it was a little bit pushed more than I would like. And then also his inking style changed. So like here, I give you a comparison. This is Panda. I'm sorry, not Panda. Mac, who is the dad. Panda's the daughter. This is how he drew him before, like this. So cool. Amazing. And then this is kind of where he went in his more cartoony style. So like his mustache got more exaggerated. His eyes got smaller. So stuff like that. And then he also was inking differently. I think the way that he inked this was a lot faster than how he used to ink, which was more traditional brush inking. I think he was using probably technical pens a lot more hatching and less like hard shadows. But regardless, this is still really cool, and this is a fun story. But here's the cartooniness that I'm talking about with Jason Pearson. These like expressions. He had a great, wicked sense of humor. Kind of darker. He was pretty controversial at times with what his characters would do and say, but he just had an edge to him. And I really, really admired his artwork a lot. And I'm pretty sure he did the inking himself on here. Story and art by Jason Pearson, yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, it's awesome. It's a standalone story. But just really awesome poses and camera angles. And he just knew how to like pace stuff out. Wow. And he was great about like leading eye. This is the whole Gaijin Studio stuff. It's like the shadows would like lead your eye in the right direction. Just the camera angles he picked and the characters, their poses, their positioning, it would all like kind of lead your eye in the right direction. We were looking at that series Hack and Slash Body Bags a long time ago, and that was like the most recent body bag stuff using these two characters. But there's nothing like Jason Pearson drawing his own characters. Jason Pearson was one of the best explosion artists, in my opinion. But it's cool. Like, look at how he uses the sound effects. Boom, 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 boom. Trink. It's great. Such a good flow. The colors are interesting in this one too. Dave Stewart's great colorist. It's really nice stuff. Like, and it's funny, we were looking at Hush 2 before this, and Hush 2 was just like every Crayola in the crayon box like melted onto the page. And these are a lot more subtler, the colors, but they still feel like impactful. So all this stuff is super intentional. Like the angle and where the blacks are spotted on the page, all leading your eye around. The angles of like the guns and the diagonals are all kind of carrying your eye around. And you know it. I mean, even if you're not looking for this, like say you're not an artist and like dissect this stuff naturally, you can feel it. And when something's clunky and you're like, wait, I'm confused. Where am I? Oh, what? I missed that detail. It never happens like that. And when I'm reading somebody like Jason Pearson, it's like I'm always very clear of where I am in the scene, what the camera's doing, where the character is. Rarely am I like lost because he's so good at doing this. And you take it for granted until you see it, until it's missing. And then you're like, wait, I don't understand what's going on. I'm lost. It's cool. So they're like, it's almost this like Die Hard scenario. They're trapped in this building and they're trying to escape. References a lot of like action movies. It's great. That's messed up. Helicopter crashes and just like chops up these people. Look at that awesome pose. So cool. It's great. It's really cool. And I love that it's like a full comic of his stuff. I mean, that's just what people wanted, was like, just do this all the time. Like Mike Mignola, just do black and white Hellboy all the time. Short stories. Easier said than done, but really cool. Look at this cover. It's great. Great perspective. I had heard that Pearson used, in his later years, was using 3D models to help map out some of his perspective in his buildings. I don't know if he did for sure in this book, but either way, it's not like he's just rendering out a 3D model and pasting it in the background. It's like he's just using it for perspective and probably drawing over it, but I don't care. It looks awesome. Really cool. Body Bags, one shot. This came out in 2008. So yeah, if you can get your hands on this and you like Jason Pearson's work, this is a fun story. Really cool. I also highly recommend the original miniseries. It's awesome. It's like perfection. Christian Rossi also has beautiful stripped down art style. Oh, I know that sounds familiar. Christian Rossi. Look at you with all your like art recommendations, Bancroft. Half the time when I watch your stream, you're like, I don't know. I've never seen this artist before. Now you're just dropping the links. Oh yeah, this guy's got stuff's cool. Eduardo Rizzo is another one who has a great pared down style. If you don't know his work, Bancroft, check out Rizzo's stuff. He's amazing. He's kind of like a mix between like Mignola and like Frank Miller in my mind. Phil Hester is another one. Stuff like that. The next member emote should be his favorite cat. I should make a cat emote. I should, for sure. First, diving into Hellboy Now Stripped Down. I'm just happy I can put the Jello up there. Nice. Sumo Thori received a gift. Oh, here they go. Here they started coming. Sumo Thori and he left. Erwin Papa, nice. Lord Hinson Comics Gator. Okay, cool. I thought I sent out 5. Didn't I? Let's see if it shows up on YouTube. Just shows 1, 2. Huh. I think they're just kind of trickling out. That's odd. Oh well, we'll see. Maybe the other 2 will show up eventually. All right, last book here. Space Mullet. Dun, 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 dun. This was a Daniel Warren Johnson story that I think it was produced originally as a web comic, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. I thought it was. And then they compiled it and put it together here into a graphic novel. So Daniel Warren Johnson, writer, creator, artist of some of the biggest stuff right now. So he did that first 24-ish issue of run of Transformers, but before that he did a Wonder Woman story called Dead Earth. Do a Powerbomb was one of his big hits. The Moon is Following Us. He was one of the writers, co-creators, artists on that. Murder Falcon was another one. I've read these. These are both great, actually. But I've always heard of Space Mullet, and I think it's because it was one of his earlier works. I'd never seen it before. So it's awesome that it's here compiled together. It's awesome that I found it at a used bookstore, and I'll flip through some of it right now. So one thing that's noticeable is the coloring is non-existent. So it's pretty much a black and white story with one color highlight or midtone or whatever you want to call it. So that's cool. It's a cool, style, very low budget style, but you can already see like his style isn't fully developed yet. Oh, the other book that Daniel Warren Johnson did was Extremity, which is awesome. So it's not fully, fully figured out yet. It's like baby Daniel Warren Johnson, but it has some of the same tropes and pieces to the stories that he injects into all of his stories. It has some sci-fi element, crazy characters, alien characters, some like loser main guy. He's got this craziest pencil mustache, which when I first saw it, I thought it was his lip. Like I kind of read that as like his mouth, but it's not. It's actually his mustache. So it's a funny stylistic thing. I think he did this cover after. Yeah, he did this cover way later when he became more famous and his style evolved. So it's kind of funny to see the difference between the way this looks and the way that this looks. Doesn't that look like his bottom lip? Like a huge bottom lip, but it's not. That's his bottom lip, and that's a mustache. But this is kind of the stuff I was mentioning earlier, like felt Paul Popian, like really loose ink brushwork. Yeah, it feels a lot more like contained and unrefined as his stuff now, but there's a lot of similarities also. I have no idea what this story is about. Ex-Space Marine Jonah and his co-pilot Alpheus rove the galaxy just trying to get by. Drawn into one crazy adventure after another, they forge a crew of misfits into a family that must face the darkest parts of the universe together. Space Mullet is a richly detailed, accessible sci-fi world with heartfelt characters and an unforgettable story. That's a pretty generic description. But if I were to know Daniel Warren Johnson as a writer, there's probably going to be some sort of, tugging the heartstrings family story in here. He's good at that, and that's kind of signature of his work. Thrown in with like crazy action and some wrestling moves. So yeah, it's fun. It's kind of a fun style. Drawing a black and white story and then having one color for accents and highlights. It's a good exercise for sure to see if you could pull it off. But it's cool. It's great stuff. Looks fun. It's already hitting up his DWJ violence in here. Friends dying. It's very classic. Oh, it's classic DWJ. Friends sacrificing for friends. This is very Appleseed. If you guys know that book, Appleseed, this feels like, even the coloring feels like Appleseed. So he must have been referencing that. And he loves Japanese artists. So yeah, you can see all those influences here. What's up, Hockey? Hi, Rocky. I finally made it. How you doing, Hockey? Good seeing you here. Hockey streams with Jason Bascom, Unhinged. And I pop into their stream every now and then. Bowler and the Beard, or Beard and the Boiler. Bowler, as in bowler hat. They have a fun stream going. Good seeing you, Hockey. Thank you for coming by. Glad you can make it. Hockey, I believe you're on the other side of the world too, right? Are you in the UK? We got 2 Australians in the house and somebody from the UK. That's awesome. Or you're not from Australia, are you, Hockey? I don't think so. Yeah, just caught the last book we're looking at right now. This Daniel Warren Johnson graphic novel of Space Mullet. That's cool. I mean, it's a lot of work. And I always get this feeling when I flip through back issue boxes, or I'm at used bookstores or whatever, wherever you find books that are like discounted. It's kind of humbling and a little bit depressing too when you see just loads and loads of books and they're like cheap, right? $1, 50 cents, quarter, and I just think of all the work and the effort put into like this, and it wasn't even his hit. Like, a majority of us can't even get to this point of just putting it out there, getting something out. And let you think like of his career right now. People are like, wow, Daniel Warren Johnson, he's like the most incredible, comic book artist right now, and he's like the hottest thing. But like he had a long journey to get to that point. A lot of work put in, a lot of effort, a lot of pencil mileage just to get these stories out there. So it's no small feat of what he's done. It's really easy to see the success and go, wow, happened so fast for them, or like instant success, instant, like top of the class. But no, these guys just grinded it out. And they're still grinding, and that's why they're good. That's why they're good, because they just put in the effort and put it out. I've really enjoyed this YouTube channel by an artist by the name of Ben Bishop. Let's see. It's worth it for me to find it and drop the link in the chat, because you guys should check his stuff out. Ben Bishop. So I don't know if many of you, his YouTube channel is called Bish Art. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with his work, but he was one of the artists on The Last Ronin, which is one of the most popular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stories to come out recently. It's all the rage. It kind of reinvigorated TMNT's comics, actually. And so he was one of the artists there, but I love watching his YouTube channel, and he's been posting a lot of content recently. I feel like he's like fueling it more. He has a studio in Maine. If you were to see anything, like if you're like, I don't care about his work or whatever, but if you just watch his YouTube channel to see his studio, he has the most incredible studio. It's like overlooking this river in Maine. It's beautiful. It's like, oh my gosh, I would love to have an art studio like that. So yeah, just go watch his videos for that. But one of the things that I appreciate about him is he's opening up the curtain on just like his process and the challenges, the day-to-day, the struggles, and how he ended up where he is. It's really fascinating, and he does such a great job of producing videos for that. But one video I recently watched, I think the title of the video was like, "How did I become a famous comic book artist?" or something like that. Like it had a like a catchy title, a on purpose catchy title that make you go, "Ooh, I want to click on that and watch." But he's basically sitting in like his station wagon, filming himself. And I think the thing I like about his videos are he's very real. Like they're well done, but he's not trying to like make it look as slick as possible. He's just like, I'm just kind of doing what I do. But the quote that I remember him saying was, well, basically not the moral, not the purpose, but the theme of that video was you're expecting like, oh, okay, here's the steps I need to do to become a famous comic book artist. And at the end of the day, he was like, you just got to make the comic. That's it. And it's such a great video. It's such an honest video. And he just talks about the ups and downs of his trials and stuff. And he says, his quote was, you got to fake it till you make it. And then you got to make it. And I was like, that is exactly it. It makes so much sense. It's great advice. And it just inspires me to like, do something like that and not overthink it, not plan it, not like, just do it. Just get the story out there. Just put the pencil to the paper. And that's why I admire so many people, independent artists, independent comic book guys who are just doing it. You just got to do it. And it's not going to be successful at first, but you just keep grinding, keep putting the work out there, keep putting the time, just put your head down and work hard. And hopefully, that will eventually, rewards will come from that. Hockey is Aussie. Oh, dang. Oz. He is from Oz. So, 3 Australians. Oh my gosh, dominating the chat. 3 Australians. Hockey, are you from Australia? Jeffrey Beat says, I'm the official Australian checker. A full Aussie stream. I feel like I need to play the like. I can do it. Here we go. I'm going to wait till this ad plays.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth fertile. Our home is God by sea. Our land abounds
Welcome. I didn't realize we would get so much Australian love in this stream.
in history's page. Let every stage advance Australia fame.
I don't think I've ever heard this, guys.
Joyful strains then let us sing. Advance Australia fame.
You guys have not won enough Olympic events for me to be recognizing that that anthem. But welcome. I love this right here. Jeffrey Beats is asking, which state is VB made? His test question. The stab state of Australia. All right. I don't know if that's the right answer or not. I'm standing now with my hand on my heart as this is played. Go Aussies. Well done, you guys. Hockey says, I'm one of the few Australians who know the second verse of this anthem too. You would hear this at the Olympics all the time. I think maybe in America they just cut to another event when you guys win. That sounds very American. I of course think the American anthem is the best anthem, but you know what? We're all equals here. But I'm glad you guys are very much represented in this chat right now. We will win. We win all the Commonwealth games though. Okay. Hockey is one of us. Nice. Confirmed. Let's see. What the? Comrade Sammy. You went from like classically coming in first a lot of the times in the chat to now coming in last. How much more scolding would I get if I told you I prefer Batman Hush over your absolute Batman? Ooh, how much colder if I told you I've been lurking this entire stream? For shame, Comrade Sammy. Always love seeing you, Comrade Sammy. One of the OGs. Amazing. Bonsoir. I wish Australia well. Nice song. You would hear this. Oh, yeah, I said that. Yes, 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 yes. Claps. For the Australians in the house. You guys showed up, man. I realize now my market. You got to go where the market takes you. That's what I've heard. You know, you got to kind of make sure you support your supporters. So I think I need to like focus my streams more on Australia now, apparently. I don't know. We stand united in independence from the UK. That's true. That's true. I've been on the road and don't watch TV. Are we talking cricket? I lurk all the time. You do, but usually you make it known that you're lurking at the beginning. Maybe you're just trying to keep us on our toes. Dismissal is when in the 1960s, the Governor General dismissed the Prime Minister. Oh, all right. They just need free speech. Yeah, none of this. Hockey, are you affected by the, are you worried about this censoring that's coming up or supposed censoring or like, I don't want to say supposed, I don't know anything about it, but this new rules that are coming out according to some of your fellow Aussies about censorship in your Australia. What do you think about that? We need to make a poll about that today. But first, we are going to poll here. As we do on My Wednesday Comics, we're going to vote for our favorite book of today. We lost some of the chat members, but hopefully you guys will make up for it. Let me post in the chat. I'll pin it to the top. The link to this poll. Where do I do this? I'm lost. No, that's it. Stop trying to cram in both of my windows in that thing. So frustrating. Feel lucky, Rocky. My interest in Redcoat overpowered my will to tie up the votes. Redcoat's powerful, though. You'd have to get 3 more votes to tie up. Well, I guess if you took down. Yeah, you'd have to get 3 more votes. Knowledge means nothing. True. This isn't scientific. It is. I did like the first Batman. Nice, Lindsay Rose. Short history lesson. Prime Minister is voted for by the people. Governor General is appointed by the Royals. Having the Royals turf out our Prime Minister isn't a good thing. Australia's pulling the same crap they're doing in the UK? Emo Trash is asking. They are trying emo. Hockey says there is under 16. Oh, that's what we were reading about but at the beginning of the stream. But everyone has to verify themselves to prove their age. Your Redcoat comic did pique my interest, I will say, Comrade Sammy said. Yes, I'm very annoyed by it. I will not be around much for December. I will not register myself to go on social media. Oh. Dismissal is not a good thing, not democratic. That means if any Brits appear in the chat, they are to be ashamed. Just kidding, Emo Trash says. It would be Big Boy. It would be Big Boy. Like Big Boy Mark Big Boy? Jeffrey Beats likes their prime minister. That's cool. Yeah, I always get confused. It's like, I know there's some countries that have like royalty, prime minister at the same time, or president, prime minister, all that kind of stuff. Like it's a little confusing, like who's in control, who's just the figurehead versus the person who really pulls the strings. So it sounds like Australia's probably similar to, is it similar to the British system where there is both? Prime Minister of Comics is in the chat. His name is Bancroft. Or Bangers, as Jeffrey Peets likes to say. Japan has a prime minister and an emperor, UK a king. Yeah. Bloody Bancroft. I meet him and the Bartons and Ray Haylock the other day. We went to a pub. Nice. You met Bancroft in person. Wow, that's cool. That's like I always wonder that, of like meeting people that you know on YouTube or YouTube chat and you meet them in person. It's almost like a atom smashing moment, like your reality would warp and change. I'm a little nervous about that. One day that'll happen. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. I know Mark's Music Obsession has been pushing for some of us friends and fans to go attend Pensacon, which is apparently near where he lives. And he keeps saying, like, I'll take you out on my boat. And very appealing because the environment looks amazing down there. So I'm sure that's a really cool con, and I would love to go to a con. So I know Mark's keep saying it. He's like, come to Pensacon. So yeah, that would be fun. Our prime minister was once a DJ. Like a wicka DJ? Like a DJ? Really? Dang, that's cool. I mean, when you think about all the people that have been politicians in our country, that's pretty cool. Seems Mark didn't show up today. I think he is, Comrade Sammy. You would know if you were on Discord. Mark was at the beach. He sent some pictures. Actually, right before I went live on the stream, he sent some pictures, and I believe he was with her. John can confirm that. They go by Eminem. So cute. It's enough for Americans to not even keep up with our own government. True. True. My state is dumb. His forehead is shorter in person. Really? It's the wide angle lens. Maybe that's what I think the wide angle lens adds a couple inches. At least 10 pounds, couple inches to the foreheads. Great. Good conversation. That's great to hear. We voted for the blonde and the political violence out of it. Next time I'm in Melbourne, I'll see if I can catch up with Bangers. That would be amazing. Virginia is the epitome of... Oh, man. My state wasn't very bright this last election either. Yeah. Now that Mo Big's gone, you have to harass me about Discord. Hey, there's always one. There is always one. All right, I think everybody who will vote has voted. Redcoat is the winner. There we go, folks. That's great. I really, that took me by surprise. I was not expecting that to, not entertain me, but like surprise me as much as it did just by flipping through it. So now after the stream, I'm going to go and read it because I really like where it seems like they're taking that story. Aww. Don't say that. Don't say that. A large forehead in Australia is a mark of greatness. I got to move to Australia then. Jeffrey Beats says he voted for Batman. Boo. I know you're a big Hush 2 fan. No problem. You win some, you lose some, Jeffrey Beats. Didn't you, Jeffrey Beats, you voted for the master study that won, right? The Doctor Doom one? You voted for that one. I think you did based on your comments. So you win some, you lose some. For those of you who don't know, I'll mention it because Hockey is our newest guest here right now. The master study winner, the next master study I'm going to do is that Doctor Doom image. I can actually call it up here. If I can find it. Yes. So this is the winner. This is going to be my next master study. Dr. Doom, very happy. There you go. Cranberry Rangers like the blue one more. I know. But this will be the next master study that I'm doing. So just really quickly, I'm going to be recreating this image. This is a double pager Jack Kirby image. So that's going to be a first. And we're doing all the big things because this is the 10th master study I've done on stream, which is awesome. This is an amazing image. This is going to be vertical, so 2 pages, but vertically put together, poster style. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. I mean, just look at that. Look at all the Kirby love that's going on to that one. The lettering, I'm going to do the lettering for sure. Just the Doctor Doom, the like classic image of Doctor Doom. It's going to be great. And it's actually going to be timely because of all the Doctor Doom buzz that's going on in the Marvel Universe right now. So really cool. I'm excited to get that started. I got to prep that one starting this weekend and figure out how I'm going to do it. But it'll be good. It'll be great. And thank you for everyone who voted for that one. Doctor Doom won in the end. I think in the last like half hour to an hour of the voting, Doctor Doom won. It kind of took it over the top. Some people speculate that Mark pushed the vote over, possibly, but that's okay. It was good. I know he was rooting for that one. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says Omac should have won. That was a good one too. I hope I can make it for studies. I like studies. I got a great art book the other day, The Art of Top Cow. Oh, I've seen that book. I've not picked it up myself, but I saw it. Are you a big fan of Top Cow? I mean, Mark Silvestri, man, that guy's amazing, and he's had amazing talent work for a studio. So that's cool. Yeah, hopefully you can join Hockey. It would be great to have you there. I stream those. I don't do them on Wednesdays because I usually do my Wednesday comics. Sometimes I'll do those on any time during the week. Try and do it once a week ish. And if I can get all the prep done this weekend, I for sure will try and start that one next week. So yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully you're subscribed, hit the notifications so you get notified. And yeah, come join us. It would be great to have you and great for you to join in the discussion while we draw it. It is the Master Study X, 10th one. Never trust a vertically challenged image. Looks good though. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And Kirby is a worthy artist to study. As much as I love Kirby, I've never tried to draw like Jack Kirby. So this will be a new one because there's all sorts of things that he does and stylistic things and compositional things and you know it when you look at Kirby stuff. You're like, that's a Jack Kirby drawing. But to have to deconstruct it and reproduce it, that's going to be a whole nother learning process. So I can't wait to get it started. Can't wait for you guys to join me. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody, all the usuals in the chat, loved seeing you guys and having you guys here. And for the newbies that dropped in, Hockey, Brunson was here earlier, all you guys here, thank you for coming and joining. Hopefully you enjoyed it and hopefully you'll come more often. And yeah, hit that like before you go. Awesome seeing you guys. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I will be in touch soon. As soon as I get that Jack Kirby thing prepped, we'll get rolling on that one. So, we only harass people not being on Discord. Oh, yeah. Come join Discord hockey. Or Fourth Wall hockey. Join it all. It's in the description. Discord link. I'm going to drop it in the chat. That's it, guys. Hockey, if you're on Discord, come join us. It's a fun party. I know we have at least one Australian in Discord with us. We definitely could use another. There's the link in the chat. So Hockey, if you are so inclined, or actually if you do Discord, come join us. It's just a fun continuation of conversation. Lots of other stuff going on. Oh, and while Emo Trash is here, Emo Trash, I don't think you were here for the announcement, but I decided that both you and Cranberry Langers are winners of the month of October. We're doing a tie, and I'm letting you guys both be winners. So drop me a DM link with an address that I can mail you something, because I'm going to ship you guys something out for participating in that. And we'll have to start a new one for November. I'm already mid-November and have not started the next YouTube questions. So I got to do that and catch up. So jump in. You can do that. Lots of fun. Loads of fun. Hockey says, never heard of Fourth Wall. It's like Patreon. It's a way to support me membership-wise. And right now it's like I'm kind of building it up, but hopefully like when I start selling more original artwork or merchandise, that Fourth Wall is going to be where that's going to be housed. And the membership right now is I hear Discord. The membership is it's just to help me lay the groundwork and kind of build that part of my presence online. But one of the benefits for the Fourth Wall members is you get high-res scans of all the master studies I've done. So the previous 9 and any future master studies, you will get access to those. So I scan them in high-res, and you can look them close. Both the pencils and the inks of all those drawings, you can get access to those. So yeah, come join. I would love to have you here. Both subscribe here, subscribe Fourth Wall, come to Discord. It'd be awesome. All right. Mark's music session. Yay. Welcome, Mark. This is the latest you've slid in here, but I'm going to guess you had a good time, and I'm not going to complain. I'm so happy for you. Mark knows, groundbreaker. Mark's part of Fourth Wall. If you have any questions, ask him. That guy knows. Mark's Music Obsession knows. And then you also get special access to some sneak peeks, too. I like to try and give Fourth Wall subscribers a little extra, because they're going a little extra for me. So, welcome to the end of the party, Mark. So good seeing you, Mark. Go watch the show. Voting is done. Redcoat won. You can't vote. Big boy can't vote. But go watch the show. We missed you, Mark. Hope you had a good day at the beach, and we'll catch you around for the next one. All right, take care, everybody. See you later.